In today's video, I'm going to be pissing you all off with my opinion. We're going to be tier list ranking all the protagonists from Resident Evil as far as I can remember. There are some faces on here I just do not recognize whatsoever. I'm sure my opinion is going to piss off some of you guys, and for others, you're probably going to agree with me. If you disagree with me, well, then just make your own tier list, because this is very readily available on Google. It's interesting because we can have some faces with the likes of Krauser and Wesker, and I know that they were protagonists at one point, but it still makes for an interesting post. For the tiers, I have kind of dissected it into who, for those who I don't know. Dog shit equals F, ass is D, they were there, so kind of like meh, average, C, solid B, badasses are A, and the goats in S. And I will have my own, you know, requisites and requirements for each category. I'm not listing off, you know, this guy would, you know, would kill off Goku in Dragon Ball and that will make him S. My own tier list is like, you know, if they were great protagonists, they're strong, etc, etc. But my opinion on where like someone like Ethan Winters will go versus like Hunk will go might differ. Okay, so let's just start off with Ada Wong. I'm gonna stick her right off the bat in badasses. I don't think she's, you know, top tier enough to hit the GOAT category, but I think what she's done for Resident Evil in terms of just being that kind of anti-hero-esque, you know, love interest affair of Leon's, but she's so badass. She's helped him and also is doing her own thing. I don't think she's up there in terms of what she offers to being GOAT, but I think she is a silent assassin, both literally and figuratively, enough to be warranted in A. Who the fuck is this? Ashley Graham. Now, listen, I think she's a cool character, but she's fucking dog shit. Let's be real. She's been in Leon's way more times than she has been useful. She has complained, moaned, and bitched, and there have been countless memes from both the OG and remake of her just being a nuisance. Listen, she's cool. I tried to defend her. I'm an Ashley defender. But she's dog shit, bro. She's dog shit. Barry. I think Barry was actually pretty solid, man. I'm not gonna lie. In the Revelations games, I thought he was a very cool character. I think he was a I don't think he was a badass, but I think the fact his impact and his appearances in those games were enough to warrant me adding him in the solid tier. He is that dope father coming in, father and father figure coming in to help and save the day. He's him. Next, I believe we have Billy, and honestly, I'm gonna stick Billy up in badass. I think he had for a one-off character, he would had honestly, I think they did wonders with him. I think he was a cool addition. I think in RE0 he had a lot to offer, and his story was very captivating. A redemption story of being falsely accused and almost getting fucked over. So I think I can confidently put Billy in badass because he is a random Joe Schmo, random prisoner, free prisoner that ended up fighting a zombie war, went on to live his life afterwards. I think badass is a perfectly fine spot to put him in. Carlos, dude, they did him fucking wonders in RE3's remake. That guy is charisma overload. I think Carlos is, oh man, it took everything in me to not put him in GOAT because I think he was such a cool character. I think he countered Jill beautifully in RE3, but I can't confidently put him in GOAT with the names that I am anticipating putting in there. Carlos is such a cool number 2 next to Jill. He was so fun to play as. He is the gaming incarnation of a badass. I feel confident putting him in there. Oh man, boulder punching Chris Redfield. There's no other place to put him than S. Listen, if it wasn't for Leon, Chris would be the face of Resident Evil. I mean, he might as well be the face of Resident Evil at this point, brother. I honestly think I think they did him justice with RE7 and 8. He just looks like a certified G. He is a GOAT. He is one of the 4 GOATs of Resident Evil, and he belongs in his spot on the throne in GOAT and S tier. Speaking of which, the other GOAT, Claire Redfield, also belonging in GOAT tier. You know, I just don't think there's much to argue with those two. I think they have a certified spot up at S tier. Who the fuck is this? And why does he look like the villain from Home Alone? Ethan Winters. Okay, this one's gonna be controversial. It's gonna be a controversial take. I'm sticking Ethan up in S tier. Yep. I'm sticking Ethan up in S tier. Being a random guy that was just hunting for his wife to end up being affected by the mold, saving his wife, solving the mystery, you know, murders and missing person cases, to then, you know, going to Europe to being military trained, saving his daughter from a crazed bitch ass witch, and saving his wife again to end up dying a hero. Apparently 3 times if you want to count the DLC. I think Ethan kind of, you can argue what you want for Ethan. He's annoying. He's ass. He's just a regular guy. I think with what he's been through, what he's done for the series, and, you know, in the Winter Saga, I think he's earned his spot up in GOAT tier. I think he has. I'll be honest, I was looking up who this is. I can't figure it out. So I'm gonna stick you in the who tier. Hunk. Okay. Hunk is going in badass. Hunk is the man with a man of few words that says a lot. The fact that this man is just geared out to the gills and just kills zombies and goes about his day, brother, he belongs in A. He belongs in A. He has a weird impact on the game just off that plain fact that this man is the epitome of the military elite, the Navy SEAL of Resident Evil, right? So he's on Alpha Team. He is the epitome of a badass, if you ask me. Jake Mueller. Who is there? I don't think it's fair to put Jake in an ass tier. I think with what he offered in terms of his kit, you know, his resistance to the virus, he was all right. Honestly, I think maybe it's a little bit unfair to put him in even C tier. Maybe he's solid. But I at the same time, he also kind of feels dull. I think C might be a fair spot for him as the in between zone, because he's cool for what he offers. He's cool for what he did in RE6, but realistically, nothing more than that. I can't give him much more leeway, and he's kind of ass for the reason that he is this one-off character who is just kind of this brute. Unless I'm mistaken, she was in Revelations, I think. Let me double check. I was right. Jessica. I believe this is Jessica. Frankly, kind of forgettable. Kind of an accessory character. Dog shit. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah. She doesn't really offer much. She was in our Revelations, and that's about it. We are on to Jill. Good old Jill Valentine, and another goat. Well, on the 4 horsemen on the Mount Rushmore of Resident Evil, takes a spot on the goat on the throne of goats. Pivotal name, main protagonist of RE3, badass incarnate. But like when I say that, I don't mean she belongs in badass. I mean she is a badass, but is a goat. The things she's done for the game, I think warrants it. Her being placed in GOAT status. Next, we have Joe Baker, Uncle Joe. This one's tough because this is another DLC character, one-off. I feel like, oh fuck, this is tough because Joe was a badass. That is a fact that he is a badass that theoretically could belong in A tier. Bro came out of nowhere to go hunt for Zoe and free her and finally kill off our boy Jack. But does that warrant him being in categories, in the same category as names like Hunk, Carlos, Ada, and Billy? I don't know. This is tough. I feel like I want to rename B tier, but I think Solid doesn't do it justice. I'm gonna throw Uncle Joe in B tier and rename B tier to Chads. We're gonna go with Chads because I think that's more fitting. I think that's more fitting for this category and the group that we have in here already. Who is this? Who? Krauser. I'm gonna stick Krauser in B tier in the Chad category with Uncle Joe. I know this one's a bit bizarre just because of the fact that Krauser was a protagonist at one point, but also I do think that I think it's fair to give Krauser his flowers for what he did in Darkside Chronicles, and also acknowledge the fact that he is a very interesting, dynamic character. You know, in going from this to the villain that we had in RE4. So I feel confident leaving him there in B. You know, and then last of the goats, from what I can tell, maybe not. Maybe we'll have some more goats, but Leon S. The face, the goat of goats, my goat. He is what I would consider these are what I would consider the four horsemen of Mount Rushmore, the protagonists and goats for this game. And I mean, what's more to say about Leon? Leon was a recruit, novice officer on his first day. Had to fight a zombie war, save Raccoon City, save the daughter of the Birkins, becomes a train killer, a government official, goes to Spain under private ops, not including the other private ops he's done, and became a real rugged man. A true war hero, in my opinion. Well, actually, no, not just my opinion. He is just a true war hero, and he is cementing his spot in GOAT. Luis, or as Leon likes to say, Lewis, badass. A tier. His death in RE4 is one that I was hoping they would retcon in the remake, because I just love this character so much. I think he added so much depth in the story. I think he added so much mystique and mystery surrounding who he was and what he was doing. And generally speaking, the what he offered for Leon and Ashley, I think he added so much interest and flavor to the story of a I won't call him a protagonist, maybe and I don't think he was an anti-hero, more like he was more like a side character. Yeah. That's more so. He added a lot, and it's a shame that he was killed off because I feel like he could have added so much more. I know she's from Darkside Chronicles. I don't remember her confidently enough to critique her, so I'm going to stick her in the who category. Mia Winters. Listen, this is gonna be tough because I like Mia, but I don't think it's fair to put her anywhere else other than ass. Unfortunately, she's not dog shit enough to be in the dog shit category, but she's just kind of there in the Winter Saga. It's in damsel in distress both times, where we have to find her the first time and she gets in our way because, well, she gets her body taken over by Evelyn. And listen, I always choose Mia when I do my RE. I've always chosen Mia when I do my RE7 playthroughs, but she doesn't offer much besides being a liability, in my opinion. In both RE7 and RE8, I think she is more annoying than anything else, honestly. I like Mia. That's the weird thing. I like Mia, but she's ass. Don't remember her name, but I do remember her for her being in Revelations. Dog shit. F. I remember her kind of being a bit of a handicap to our main character. even furthermore, our main character was Claire. So yeah, she was a big hindrance. I also checked this is Natalia. She wasn't a problem, so I don't want to give her ass. I'm gonna say she was there. Yeah, she was there. She was cool with Barry. Nothing more, nothing less. She was all right, kind of forgettable, but she wasn't a problem like Moira was per se. Next we have Parker from Revelations 1. This one's a tough toss-up between A and B. I'm gonna stick him in B for now. This man literally technically sacrificed himself for us in Revelations. He was just a cool character altogether. I enjoyed his presence in the game, and his noble sacrifice allowed us to escape. Then again, he didn't actually die. So, yeah, I think B is a good spot for him. I don't know enough about him. Can't tell who that is, but if this is someone from RE6, I can't make a. Is that? Yeah, that's Piers. I can't speak enough on Piers. I don't remember him all that well from RE6 enough to give him a judgment call on where he belongs. Same with this guy. Who is this? Who? Next we've got Rebecca Chambers. I think she belongs in badass next to Billy. I like putting those two up in A. I don't have a problem sticking them together as a pair in A. They held RE0 together with Justice, and I enjoyed their I guess kinship and their ability to kind of counteract one another as the main leads for the game. And yeah, I think that's a good spot for her. Rosemary Winters. So we don't really get a chance to explore her as much besides the DLC, because you know the main game has her as a fucking baby, as a dismember baby. This one's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna stick Rose in. I'm gonna stick her in Chad. She didn't do enough to warrant being in badass, unfortunately. I think the little bit that we had of her in the DLC was very good. It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing like, you know, unbelievable, but it gave us a good glimpse of Rose, and I think it gives her a comfy spot to be in Chad for who she is and what she had gone through. And it was a lot. And I think Chad is a good spot for her. Who the fuck is this? As well as this. I don't remember these people, I'm be honest. Sherry Birkin. Sherry Birkin. By principle, do I have to stick her in C as well? Yeah, I guess I kind of have to. I mean, I like Sherry. I really do. But I don't think it's fair to put her any higher than C. Yeah. Unfortunately, RE6 did irreparable damage to a lot of people. Yeah. The C is a fair spot for her. Sheva. She goes up into badass tier. Kind of like the same with Billy and Rebecca. I think she countered Chris very well in RE5. Unfortunately, RE5 is RE5. RE5 is a solid game. Again, more actiony than horror, but I think it gave her a good way of showing her character. I think she brings her own charisma and badassery and offers quite a bit to the character development between her and Chris. Who the fuck is this? Albert Wesker. Oh, I kind of want to stick him in GOAT tier, but that might be a stretch. Especially because he's not even a protagonist. I'm gonna stick him as well in badass, because of the fact that he is so mysterious, and he is a protagonist in RE1, that the plot twist of him being who he is and what he is under Umbrella, I mean, maybe some were shocked, maybe some were not, just because he looks villainous. I think he's still a badass at heart, and he offers so much to the story. I can feel good about keeping him there. Yeah. Zoe Baker. I mean, she was there. I don't think she's Chad enough to be in Chad, because she survived the entirety of the Dolby incident. I feel like it could be like a high C, low B for me. Or maybe, yeah. She did, I mean, she also did. The thing is, she did make us her lackey. She did give us the instruction, but we were kind of her lackey at the same time. So I want to say she was there. She was more just bossing us around. Is my whole thing. So and then she ended up getting frozen and shit. To which, you know, Uncle Joe had to save her. This one's tough. Mainly because she was just there. And honestly, she might be lucky I'm not sticking her in ass tier. I think C is a fair spot because she had the knowledge to survive and shit. So I'm gonna keep her in C. High end. I'm gonna keep her somewhere. I'm just gonna stick her in C. Confident, healthy C. You know, not a C plus, not a C minus, not a top end, not low end. She's just in C. All right. For the rest of these people, yeah, I think this is fair. I mean, I just don't know these people well enough to give them a placement. So, or maybe I just don't recognize them enough. So I'm going to call this my tier list. And if you disagree, well, then sucks to suck. Make your own. But this is who I have sitting here. I feel good about it. I kind of like it, actually. But for the most part, there is no more definitive, better tier list than mine. I'm telling you that right now. This is the only objective truth and the only correct one. Yeah, I said it. All right, guys. That's going to be it for me today. That's all I got for y'all. And as always, gang, stay safe, stay beautiful. Love y'all. Then get out of here.